There is a few turning points for me. Like one was definitely when I was 13 to 16, especially 16. Like I became super rebel and took quite a few drugs because I didn't understand this wall and this wall that was trying to convert me into one unhappy adults, because that's the references that I heard, like unhappy adults telling me that I should grow up and become one of them. When I was 16, my mom didn't know how to handle me and sent me 13,000 kilometers away with my father, who was living in a spiritual community and therapeutical community. And at that time, 20 years ago, it was pretty weird to be in a spiritual community, you know, like that. It wasn't trendy, it wasn't fashion. Not even yoga was trendy at that time, 20 years ago. It probably was starting, but so in that space where people were more kind and more, just more mindful, they were more like mindful leaders in different ways. And in just a couple of weeks there, I had my first conscious peak experience where I experienced
at
that.
16 years old.
Yeah.
At 16.
Yeah. So that experience of presence, I didn't even really notice the presence. I didn't have something to really contrast that was present, but I felt a really clear wave of well-being inside of me, and that awakening me, oh, there is a whole thing to discover inside of me. And if it's possible to experience this as in a regular basis, I'm going to do everything that I can to experience this permanently, always. And if I manage to make that happen, I'm going to tell as many people as possible. And since I was 16 until this time, I'm always doing that. I haven't stopped even one day of pursuing that vision or that mission that took me. It didn't ask me for permission. It's just awakened in me, and it's been using this body and this brain since then. Another turning point was definitely to know the meditation that I've practiced the most. I've practiced meditation since I was 16, but it was when I was 22 that I met particular type of meditation. And what this meditation has is that it's super simple, that there is no belief involved. So it's only about consciousness, observing without judgment, and some phrases that are super simple that help you remind. What I'm using fear now as a reminder to be present, as a reminder to come back to love and to come back to purpose. Those phrases were doing it, and they are really, really effective. So having something effective and simple and that require no beliefs, so there were no contradictory beliefs, conflicting beliefs, that was a turning point. And then I was like, wow, I have the infinite and beyond to discover with this. So I got more involved and I became a monk, and then I started sharing it, and that was my dream come true. When I started sharing this, it was like, wow, I'm sharing with people something that really works, and that's what I was born to do this. And I get emotional saying this because it's true. Because I was born, I came to this planet to do this, to tell as many people as possible, probably people from outside this planet as well, but let's start with this humanity, to tell there is no reason to be unhappy, there is no reason to be afraid. If you know how, this game is so, you can conquer this game. You can get it, and you can stop struggling with life, and you can stop being this empowered, believing that it's not fully up to you, that it's lack, that it's something out of your power. It's not. It's up to you, and if you take responsibility, you can be in control. Not in control of the results, of course. No one can control the result, but you can control yourself, your focus, and therefore how you feel and how you act. And then the results are inevitable. The results are going to be a consequence, a result of how you feel and how you act. And then the other turning point was that it was already a decade being a monk. And I believe in never giving up. But I also believe in being smart and changing your strategy. If your strategy is not leading to where you want to experience, to what you want to achieve, then you don't give up on your dream, you don't give up on your goal, but you can let go of the strategy and and find and embrace a new strategy that you believe is going to take you there, and change the strategy as many times as possible until you get there and you overcome that and you go beyond what you dream. So when I was for 10 years, I was like, okay, this is not really taking me where I was. I'm meditating. I'm supposed to be an expert after a decade meditating with this practice and almost 2 decades meditating with others. I'm teaching so many people to experience peace and to experience fulfillment, but I am myself caught in my inability to make happen what I really want to make happen. So I'm bullshitting myself to a certain degree. So I started realizing how action is key to make things happen. But then soon enough, I started realizing we don't take action because we are afraid. And yes, it's true. Sometimes you just feel the fear and do it anyway. But sometimes you feel the fear and the fear is so powerful and the fear is so subtle and the fear is so subconscious in a way that you cannot take action. You are like,
you're stuck.
And then you need to conquer your fear, so then the action can come from joy, from inspiration, not from your ego saying, I'm gonna do it anyway. But you do it. You didn't did it from a place of love, from a place of heart-centeredness. Yeah, you did it, but you are still building muscle for that ego. So if instead of doing that, you learn a way to dismantle the ego right now, not give up on what you wanna do, neither give up on your love. You still face what you want and you still engage with the love, and then the tension falls apart. You face your fear, you face your tension, you breathe, and you become more present with that fear, with that tension, and then that tension diminishes, and this inspiration, this desire to keep moving towards more expansion, towards more love, towards more of what you want in spite of yourself, because that you really, really want, you want it out in spite of yourself. And then you move gracefully, elegantly, sometimes not so elegantly, but you move because you want to move. And that's sustainable. That's the point. That's sustainable. It's not something that you do one day when you feel super powerful and pumped, or you had too much coffee or Red Bull. No, that's sustainable. And that can spread to anyone. You just mantle the fear and be free and have an immense impact more and more every day.
Very wise words, Loto. You know what? I'm in the stage of taking responsibility for how I feel. The second turning point that you shared.
So there you go. That was Denise Loto Vázquez, the author of the FearHacking method. And I hope that video was useful, inspiring, insightful. And if it was and it resonates with you, if it feels right for you, please support this work as much as possible. And you can do that liking it, following the channel, if it really is something that you want more for you. And if you follow the channel, activate the bell if you want to have the notifications of the next video as soon as they come up. Really, just follow your gut. If this is useful for you, do it. If not, follow your gut anyway. And if you believe this can be useful for other people, and it's aligned with you, share it. Why? Because we do need to share what it's inspiring, so we can live in a more inspired world with more inspired humans around us, with more healthy, self-loving humans, so we can rise this world together. So there you go. If it's aligned with you, if it's right, please support this as much as you can. Much love, and see you super soon in a following video. Bye.